So we all know that in the used car market, certain brands do command better resale value than others. And even within the brand itself, some models have better resale value than others. Let me give you an example. So we all know that cars like Honda, Toyota are generally very strong in resale value. But at the same time, if let's say you were to look at the Honda lineup, a Civic, a CRV, holds its value better than the Accord. Now, I'm not talking about the actual value of the car per se, but rather I'm talking about percentage of the car's resale value compared to its brand new price. Similarly, if you're looking at Toyota, Camrys and Hiluxes generally hold on values better compared to a Corolla. Or say BMW 3 Series generally hold on value better than a 5 Series. But did you know that within a given model, the spec and variant that you choose also impacts your car's resale value? Now, of course, I'm not telling you that, oh, you should choose your car's variant or spec based on its resale value. Please, by all means, choose and buy what you like. But what I always say is just be mindful that if, let's say, like what you like, what you choose is out of line in terms of taste with the general market, when you sell your car, you have to be prepared to either take a hit or maybe your car may not be bought so quickly. Let me give you an example. So a few years back, a friend of mine was trying to sell a Volvo XC90 T8. Not a difficult car to sell. The problem was that her T8 did not have Inscription Plus trim. It did not have the Bowers and Wilkins sound system. And even though in terms of resale value, it did not severely impact the car, but what it means is that the demand for that car is less. I'll give you another example. Honda Civic FC, 1.5 turbo versus 1.5 turbo premium. Both these variants roughly the same resale value. But if you park both cars side by side, most buyers will take the premium model. And what is worse, I have friends in the used car market who said before, they stock the turbo model, and customer come and see, they like the car, then they end up go to another dealer and buy the premium. So what this also means is that if let's say like the variant that you bought, Songam is something that the demand is lower, there is also the chance that if let's say if you are to trade your car in, the used car dealer will either press your price lower or they may outright say, I don't want to take in your car. That is entirely possible. So the question is, what are the factors that influence the resale, not so much resale value, but the resale potential of your car? So when it comes to variants and spec and all that, the same model, the price difference will not be significant, but the appeal to the buyer will be very different. And at the end of the day, the overriding principle is very simple. Your car will command a better value and it will sell easier if it is something that people look for. So here's the other thing also. When it comes to modding your car, personalizing your car, enhancing your car, do know that if your mods, your accessories, your wrap job, your body kit is too polarizing, what will happen is that your car will become a like it or hate it thing, and selling it in the future may not be so easy. But once again, it's not to deter you from doing it. It's just that if you like it, do it, but be mindful of these consequences in the future. If you enjoy, go ahead. But the thing is, of course, when you want to sell the car and nobody want to buy the car, you also cannot complain. But coming back, let's just say that when you are right now buying your car brand new in the showroom, what are the factors at play that you can predict that may influence your car's resale value and resale potential down the road? Of course, one of the most critical influences is, of course, your engine. And as we also know, in Malaysia, our road tax system favors smaller engine car. And if you were to go back to the 90s, especially in the 90s and 2000s, when our currency was much stronger, and 2,000 ringgit, 3,000 ringgit was a more significant amount of money, there is a great reluctance or rarity of cars above 2 and 2.5 liters. Okay, simply put, because when you go from say 2.5, 874 ringgit road tax to 2.8, suddenly your road tax is double. So even for the rich people of that time, that is a significant amount of money that they do not want to incur an extra expense on. But today, because of inflation, our money has become smaller. 2,000 ringgit now suddenly is not so big an amount, and therefore people are more accepting of bigger capacity engines, even though the trend now is moved towards small displacement. But that being said, the acceptance of big engines has increased, but the preference, the general preference for smaller engines are still big. So generally, let's say like for example, in a Mercedes C-Class or BMW 3 Series range, for example, the most powerful variants below 2.5 or 2 liters definitely have an advantage in terms of resale value. And of course, the 3-liter variants, the big engine special variants, also have their own appeal. So that's why, let's say, for example, like the BMW G20 in the future, you will see that the M340i will hold its price. The 330i also will hold a certain price because it is the most powerful 2-liter variant on offer. But that being said, for certain cars where the performance difference is not significant, Honda Accord, for example, 2.0 and 2.4, both of them are the driving experience is not significantly different. There is next to no impact whatsoever between 2.0 and 2.4. It is really down then to the spec as of the equipment of the car and also the condition of the car, because the 2.4 has better equipment. Now, generally, then of course, once you look away from engine size, the other thing also is your variant. So once again, let's just say you take a BMW 320i, right? A non-M Sport and an M Sport model, the pricing wouldn't be very different for the same model year. But the M Sport model will be more sought after and therefore would find buyers a lot easier. And also the other thing is features. What are the features in the car? Certain convenience items, electric power seats, reverse camera. All these, once again, it does not impact the resale value of the car, but it impacts the resale ability of the car. Let's say like a BMW E39, for example. Somebody who surveyed 3 or 4 E39s and 2 cars, condition similar, mileage similar, engine spec similar, one with electric seat, one with manual seat. The one with electric seat will likely find an owner faster, will be the more likely choice when a buyer sees these 2 cars. Does it mean that the manual seat unit will command a lower price? Also no. But because of this spec difference, well, people will take the one with a higher spec more. But some specs also is a bit more polarizing. So things like sunroof. Sunroof, some people like it, some people don't. Because some people say, oh, they want to open the sunroof to let light in during the night. But there are some people who are you scared leaking water lah, scared the sunroof spoil lah, and all that. So sunroof is something that is polarizing. If you have it, then you will attract people who really want it, and you will repel people who don't want it. Another feature that impacts consideration this way would be ADAS. There are some people for whom ADAS is a big thing, especially adaptive cruise control. And actually, it's mostly adaptive cruise control, auto braking, and all that. If you talk about things like lane keep assist, all this is also important, but adaptive cruise control, auto braking, these influence purchasing decision. And what I would say also is that these are also things that are polarizing. They will either attract or repel. Now, I give you an example. I've got this friend who specifically seeks out cars with ADAS. Nowadays, he will only buy cars with ADAS. At the same time, my wife has an uncle who is wealthy. He can afford to buy 200,000 ringgit cars cash one, as far as I can tell. But when he bought his Proton X50, he deliberately chose the premium model and not the flagship model because he specifically does not want the sunroof or the ADAS package. My father-in-law also made the same decision. Bought X50, they can afford the flagship model, but they deliberately chose one step down because they did not want the added complexity. People will have this thinking that it's a question of whether that feature is something that they like, that they feel will add a convenience to them, or they are thinking maybe this may add complicated repair bills down the road. Now, if you contrast with things like reverse camera, leather seats, or electric seats, these are things that, yes, it influences a purchasing decision, and there's less fear involved in these features. Why? Because if these features break down, your car can still jalan. But if your sunroof leaks, your ADAS koyak, it actively impacts your car's driving experience. I'm going to end this video by saying this is not telling you that you should buy cars with what spec so that you can sell it better. No, it's not that at all. My message actually is buy whatever you want, buy what you like, of course, within the realms of what you can afford, but just know that the way your car is spec'd will influence how easy it is to sell your car down the road and how much value that you can command of your car down the road. I hope today's video is beneficial to you, is of value to you. And yeah, do share with me your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what are the factors that you consider that you would say pay a premium for when you buy a used car, or what are the features that you will, even if you can afford it, you will not touch it. Let me know in the comment section below. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. And of course, if you are looking for personalized car related advice, whether it's buying your car, budgeting your purchase, or you want to sell your car, go check out my AI virtual assistants. Links are in the description section below. And also lastly, if you are looking to sell your car, you would like to get back at least 85 to 90% of your car's market value, but you don't want the hassle of doing it yourself, fill in the form in the description section below. My team will be in touch. And yeah, so until my next video, take care, stay safe.